This is worth the money, and he is a 16 hand, 7-year-old gelding by Tisnow. So he's a well bred horse. And he last ran in November of last year. So a trainer that I know and I've gotten a bunch of good horses from ended up with him and brought him back to his farm in Michigan. And he spent the winter turned out there. And when he arrived here, he looked like a yak. He had so much winter hair still. So we did a full body clip on him and we got his feet done. And so he got all the attention he needed. So he was ready today to come out and do his first ride. And he was a really good boy. I mean, he was a little bit distracted and taking in all the things of going and having your first ride in 6+ months, but absolutely, no sort of unwanted behaviors, just a little bit wiggly, a little bit looking around, which is completely normal. He's actually, in these little moments like here, he gives me a really nice short side and then he sneezes and then he sort of bobbles the contact after he sneezes. But in these little moments like here also, that's quite nice. When he gets everything sort of straight, his shoulders straight, then his head straight, and then the haunches can push from behind, he's actually really quite a nice mover. It was just that I was only able to get little short bits of time, like right there. That's quite nice where I had him truly straight, but he definitely gave really lovely looking moments. The canter for him was a little bit of his transitions need some work. I think we picked up a counter canter and then we did like a half change and then we finished the change. It wasn't the most graceful thing in the world. So we will work on that in rides to come. But the good news is that once he is in the canter on the correct lead, he is extremely balanced. He has a fantastic canter. So that made me really happy. I always think that the canter is the absolutely hardest thing to change. And I really enjoyed his canter. And interestingly, he was actually much straighter in the canter than he was in the trot. I would not say that he is particularly heavy sided in preference to one direction or the other. He actually felt quite even to me, quite evenly wiggly, I would say. When we first went to the right, we had to work on this long side here of he wanted to lean on the right shoulder, which is very normal. And so then here he'd be leaning on the right shoulder, and then we'd switch to this short side by the gate, and then all of a sudden he'd be leaning on the left shoulder. And then here, I would finally get him straight, and we get a couple of really nice steps. And so that's just total baby young green horse basics. And so then here he gives me a couple of really nice steps. I'm thinking, okay, this horse is really lovely. And then here I go back to managing, wiggling that right rein, asking him to start the idea of moving off that right leg. And then here he gave me, this was right before we did our right canter. He really felt like he was much straighter down this long side. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. Yeah, that was definitely his best long side in terms of not falling on that right shoulder. He felt like he was starting to understand what it was I was asking him to do. And then the right canter, equally balanced, nice canter to the right as it was to the left. I really can't say that one way was easier or more or less balanced than the other. Really equal canter, both directions. Equally nice, I should say. A little bit of falling out that left shoulder going by the gate. I probably should have ridden a more square turn there to help him out. Right here, I thought that he gave me some nice balance steps, and then here he sort of falls on that inside shoulder, so then I'm asking him to step off that right leg. Here we have a couple of good steps. This is good. That was much better with holding up his outside shoulder going down by that short side. And then when we came out of the right canter, he was pretty unbalanced in the contact. He sort of lost it, so to speak. So he was hot and tired, and so was I. It's a warm day for us today in Maryland, especially if you're used to Michigan. So we just went to the walk, and then here we just got a couple of nice steps reconnected in the walk to make sure we understood. And then that was it. He was done with that. He was a really good boy. It was a great first ride. I was very happy with him. And then I think I show a little bit of walk here to the left. This is from when I first got on. He was a very good boy. And then there's some footage on cross ties here at the end.